Hey, so I'd like to ask the question how we can really reach our CO2 targets, because as we all know by now, there is actually an opportunity to have clean and abundant green energy at a competitive price point just right from your roof. But this transition is currently mostly taking place in private homes, driven by B2C businesses and installer companies, some of which have grown to become unicorns already. But in contrast, most of the commercial rooftop in Germany and all over Europe are still remaining empty. And this is not just an issue for the companies operating in it, because they have to deal with the energy prices, but this is also a question of competitiveness of our economy, our jobs, everything that we need to thrive in Europe here, and also, of course, for our CO2 targets. So how can we actually seize this lever, since 3/4 of the electricity consumption in Germany and Europe is actually from commercial and industrial customers. So we need to tackle that lever for our customers and for our targets. And this is exactly what we built Voltaro for, as a one-stop shop for commercial on-site solar and clean commercial buildings, to make it an easy, no-brainer solution, both for companies, for real estate firms, as well as for installers to realize commercial on-site solar. But why is this currently still a pain? And it can be a pain, and it was a pain in the past. And it all starts with the planning process, which is much, much different from B2C solar, since you have much more paperwork and stakeholders involved, from facility managers over building authorities, and then, of course, also the grid operators that have much more say in the commercial solar plants that you're building. So this is the one thing that hinders, at the start, every project that comes into consideration. And then we have the installation bottleneck, of course, which has been talked a lot about in the past, but I'd rather make the point that this is an efficiency bottleneck we have at the moment. The hands would be there if we would be using them in an efficient manner and not in an analog and kind of manufacturing way. I think this Henry Ford moment has been talked about also quite a bit. So then once the projects are live, we also have the third hurdle, which is the complex energy management, integrating with battery storage, with EV charging, bringing that into the future of the energy system with dynamic pricings. This is a real hurdle, and this is totally overwhelming businesses that don't have energy at their core. So how do we solve this? At the end, what we try to offer and are already offering is an Amazon-like one-stop shop experience that makes solar on commercial buildings radically easy. And this starts with a very streamlined and automated planning and process, where our partners save time and money in this process, and that helps them to understand which options they have. And since we are not an installer company but a marketplace, they can trust us that they get the best offer on the market, which we then connect them with installers on our marketplace, over 100 now already, so that they really get the best offers for their needs, which is not only price, but which can also be speed or specific needs of the building. And then once the plants are live and the customers got the best offer for the realization, we are also operating the plants for them, integrating the whole energy system, as I mentioned before, because this is actually quite tedious as well. So for the customer, it's really a hands-off, hassle-free, peace of mind operation where they can still participate in low energy prices and the value that we generate. So, so far we have been quite on track with now more than 30 customers, largely of the commercial real estate industry in Germany, but also we are looking into European markets already to really build the #1 platform for on-site commercial energy and becoming basically an on-site utility. We have now more than 100 installers on our platform, so this number here is outdated, which should show you that there is actually the hands and the installers that want and can install these plants. So we can really make this scale. We now have currently more than 120 projects in different project stages all over Germany, considering some European markets as well. So this is what we want to make possible, to create green buildings. This is the future. I think we all understand this. We just need to find a way how we can implement it at scale and at speed, and how we can operate it in an integrated manner so that we leverage the maximum value of these assets. That's what we're doing. Here's one of our projects in Cologne, which is already running all this integrated energy management already. So if you're interested in working with us to save 1.5 million tons of CO2 annually by 2030, this is our goal. Please contact us. We are, of course, always interested in investors to grow our product, make this an even more streamlined process to really provide this customer journey. And we're also working with a lot of partners that help us enlarge, because we can only make this happen together: EV charging, battery storage, and so on. Happy to talk to you, and thank you for your time.